we sat there, and the first thing I drew was, I don't know if you remember the Disney character. His name was Pig Leg Pete. That one picture, I drew it over and over and over and over and over until, I could look and see the progression of it. I stayed in a lane that I was comfortable in. Then once I knew, okay, I can do this with my eyes closed, then I transitioned to something else. Especially in the artistic field, because it's going to be somebody that doesn't like what you do. It's going to be somebody that doesn't like what you do. You could be a world-renowned artist, and it's still going to be somebody who doesn't like what you do.
Truth in the air, let it speak.
So how you been, man? Because I ain't seen you since...
Man, everything good, man. No complaints, no restraints. Like I always say, hey, if I complain, I ain't grateful. You know what I mean? So I ain't no need to complain. I'm just going to be grateful.
You said if you don't complain?
I said if I'm complaining, I ain't grateful.
I ain't never heard that.
Yeah, so if I'm complaining, that means I'm not grateful. So I don't complain.
That means you're not just taking what's given to you.
So I don't complain because I'm grateful. Whatever it is, I'm cool with it.
We're going to run with that.
Yeah, I ain't complaining. I'm cool with it.
Run with that. I ain't complaining. You know what? I'm done complaining too then.
Yeah, just be grateful.
Because I'm extra grateful.
Yeah, extra grateful. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I ain't never...
That's just how I look at it.
This man starting off deep already.
That's how I look at it. That's just how I navigate through life.
I mean, you got to, though. When you think about what that means on any level, you have to... Oh, I just be seeing people walk by because I ain't closed the curtains today.
It's all good. I'm hyper vigilant too.
Right. My peripheral is 178, so I see almost everything. How our levels look, Ramon? We good over there? We need to turn up a little bit? We probably need to turn up a little bit. Right. But listen, I appreciate y'all.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you because we ain't known each other that long.
Right.
You probably heard of me, but never really heard me because we only met maybe once, maybe twice.
Maybe twice, yeah. I think the second time was when we shot the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was my second time coming to the studio, actually.
Then we've only met once.
Right, prior to the last time.
No.
I don't think so.
I think it's only been when he came.
Yeah, was it just Shamar here the first time we did an episode?
I know I wasn't here.
We didn't do the episode here.
We did. It was upstairs. We did
that is right. Right. Yeah, I think it was just Shamar here.
Yeah, there he go right there.
It was somebody else here, but
it wasn't me.
It might have been John.
I don't think it was Tay.
Okay.
Randy. Yes.
Randy.
Shout out to Randy for being here, taking care of that episode for us.
Shout out to Randy. Gotta say it like that.
Yeah. So yeah, Creative Roots Podcast, man. We just go into where you got your start, like how it all became, you coming up to where you are now.
Right.
And we really don't have to go past that. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, hey, whatever waters you want to jump in, I'm with it.
Well, let's go then.
Hey,
I mean, let me give this man his introduction. This man is one of the illest inksters. Can I say inksters?
That's fine, yeah.
We'll call him
this
man, when it comes to tattoo work, you got to go here. You got to hit him up. You got to do it in advance because the man is booked. Oh, yeah. He don't take everybody, okay? That's how you know he good because he don't take everybody. Somebody call him in. I'm not answering that.
I tell him all the time, man. I'm busier than a North Charlotte prostitute.
Oh, my God. I'm telling you. Listen, I call him Natty. We call him Natty here at the studio, and I can't really go into his whole intro like he can, so I'm gonna let him complete introducing himself because
hey, what's up, Charlotte? You know what I mean? I ain't from here, but I get it done here. I go by Natty. I go by Tanaro. I go by Mr. Sick with it with the needle. I go by Black Jesus with the ink. I go by your favorite unk.
Get it?
Natty, I'm your favorite uncle out here.
Unk in the building. I can't call you Unk because I think we ain't that far in age.
Nah, I'm Unk. Shit, I'm damn near Pawpaw.
Well, never mind.
Yeah, I'm damn near
Listen.
Hey,
Uncle
48.
it is.
Well, 47, man. I'll be 48 in June.
Man, we ain't that far.
Okay, well.
You big bro.
I take that.
You big
I take
bro.
that. The big bro.
We only 7 years apart. I
yeah,
hope
that
you
is-
ain't unk to me.
Yeah. I was still taking naps and eating cookies in kindergarten when you got here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know, simple stuff, you know.
Right on.
So check this out. Like I said, this is Creative Roots.
Right.
And we go over where you started. So I want to, let's just start. Like, what was the first seed that was planted that got you into drawing or tattooing?
Oh man, I always was fascinated with but my biggest thing was Disney characters. When I was growing up, I was fascinated with Disney characters, you know, because cartoons was the thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I had a friend of mine that stayed right next door named Terrence Mackey. And Terrence, I mean, could draw his ass off, you know what I mean? He could draw his ass. And then one day, I was about maybe about 8 or 9, you know, and I just asked Terrence to teach me how to draw one day. And we sat there, and the first thing I drew was, I don't know if you remember the Disney character. His name was Pig Leg Pete. He had like a little peg leg, but he was kind of like a little chunky, like a little bulldog. He was real mean, but he had like, his name was Peg Leg Pete.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah.
If you remember Peg Leg Pete, put that in the comments because I don't remember that.
And
I'm
that
going
was
to go look that up.
Yeah,
go ahead.
and it's like, because he was sort of like the evil Goofy, but he had a peg leg, and they called him Peg Leg Pete. But that was the first thing I drew, man, and I was just so proud of it. You know what I'm saying? I was proud of it. So, you know what I mean? I took it home, showed everybody, and I showed my brother, and he was like, he said, man, that's ugly as shit.
I knew bro was going to say something crazy.
Know, but it was cool because I took it as constructive criticism.
Hey, real quick, just wanted to say thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Creative Roots Podcast. If you are a creative and you're interested in being a guest on this podcast, feel free to send a DM on Instagram or TikTok, and you can find us at creativeroots.podcast on both, Creative Roots Podcast on Facebook, and we look forward to talking to you soon. Back to the episode.
He said, man, that's ugly as shit.
I knew bro was going to say something crazy.
Know, but it was cool because I took it as constructive criticism.
Yeah.
And that one picture, I drew it over and over and over and over and over until, you know, I could look and see the progression of it, until I could see that I was getting better. And I drew Peg Leg Pete for probably about 2 months straight.
2 months.
Yeah. Every day I drew Peg Leg Pete. and that's how I kind of got into artwork, you know, because if it was something or once I went from Disney characters and I started doing calligraphy, you know what I mean? Because I used to get clowned a lot in high school. I mean, like not even high school, elementary school, because they used to say I write like a girl. And my Aunt Mary, she had brought me this calligraphy pen set, you know, with the different tips. And I didn't know what it was until I get introduced to art. So I started with Disney characters, then I transitioned to calligraphy, and then I started doing like airbrushing, like pants and jackets, like the denim pants and jackets. That was my little hustle, you know what I mean? So I started doing that. Started doing airbrushing t-shirts, and I just had a thing for artwork. Man, to this day, I still got my first coloring book I ever bought. My grandma, you remember you go to the circus, they had those big old coloring books?
Oh yeah, and it'd be like 15 pages, and you'd be half a crayon by the time you done with the page.
I still got my first coloring book that my grandmother bought me. We went to Barnum and Bailey Ringling Brothers Circus.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah, I remember them circus.
And she bought me this big coloring book, and she still has it at the house to this day, man.
I can't find none of my drawings. None of them. Like, you started with Disney.
Yeah.
I was more like, I guess what they now call Cartoon Network. Like, I was on like Scooby-Doo and Mickey Mouse, so I did do a little bit. I did simple stuff that what we would call
simple now, right?
Yeah, like
Back
Wu-Tang
then.
logo, the Chicago Bulls, because you know it was during the 90s. Everybody wanted that Bulls logo,
right? No
That's
doubt.
why I got my hustle started. But I draw your Bulls logo for $5. I ain't even need for lunch money, but you know I'm gonna take it.
Indeed, that's the hustle.
So, but yeah, man. The age of 8.
Yeah, man. I started at 8 years old, man. And matter of fact, what's so funny? I had Terrence. Terrence Mackey, the one who taught me how to draw.
Shout out to Terrence.
Shout out to Terrence Mackey. Right. I had talked to him, matter of fact, this was probably like I hadn't seen Terrence in over 30 years, and he had reached out to me on Facebook. And we just brought that back up, you know what I mean, how I got started in drawing and artwork, man, So like I say, shout out to Terrence Mackey. Southside all day.
Yeah, Southside. Well, I don't.
Southside, LA.
Okay, yeah. I can't say that. I can't say that. I've been right here my whole life, born and raised, Charlotte. So you started that early, and you took that constructive criticism, I'm gonna say, to heart, because you actually was like, nah.
Yeah, like I can show you. It was one of those things.
Let me show you something.
Yeah,
you
I
think this
you.
ugly? Let me show you what I can do.
What I can do, exactly.
And from there, so the next question is like, from that, when you for a seed to grow, it's got to be watered, it's got to be toiled, and it's got to be nurtured. And we can already say that your brother was the very first person that kind of like told the soil to help grow that seed. But because he flipped the switch in you.
Right,
is basically what I'm saying.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely.
So out of everybody that you know of and that's been around you, from the first picture until now,
right?
Like, who would you say were the ones that actually encouraged you to keep going? Constructive criticism, that's my baby, whatever it was, because we know how mamas do. Right.
And I just have to say, man, it was actually 3 people, actually. It was me, myself, and I. Yeah, it was just me. I like to give me a shout out.
Shout out to me.
Shout out to me,
for
myself,
believing
and
in
I.
me.
Yeah.
For doing.
And it was just one of those things that, I kind of like, I kept to myself because it was kind of like, it was my recreational getaway, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something I wanted to do, and I understood that, at the end of the day, everything is going to be judged by somebody, but it was just something that was for me. So I just kept it to myself, man, for the most part.
Did you ever have anybody tell you can't get, make money from drawing, or you can't get famous or rich or whatever from drawing? Or?
No, because I actually had more money than everybody in the house doing airbrushing. You know what I mean? Because
that says a lot.
Yeah, because I like back in the early 90s, airbrushing, with the jackets, you had the dance teams, and you know what I mean, and all that other good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You had the loose singing groups, and I was like the only person in the neighborhood who they can come to.
Do it.
Yeah, who they can come to and get quality work from. So, it was very lucrative from middle school. From 13, 14, 15, you know what I mean, all the way up. So I already knew that it was a lane for artwork. But, as far as like, drawing and fashion, but as tattooing, I wasn't exposed to that at the time.
Well, let's get into that.
Let's get into it.
Because that's what we here for. The man with the ink out here, y'all. So what happened? You ain't got to go too deep, because I know,
right?
But what was that transition from paper to flesh, or paper to skin, however you want to word it? Or
it was slow.
Slow.
It was slow.
Yeah.
And one thing that I always practiced was patience. Because that was my first remark when I did my first tattoo. Like, say, we talked about it a little bit in the other interview. My friend Porter Rock, when he asked me to do the Coquille Frog tattoo for him, that was my first tattoo, and I had never done a tattoo ever. And my response was, "Hey, I draw on paper. I don't draw on people." That was my first.
That's how you worded it. Yeah,
that was my first response to him.
Yeah,
and basically he said approach it the same way, and I approached it the same way. Because at the end of the day, it's like how I tell a lot of people. Let's say, for instance, if you're building a baseline, you know what I mean, it was basically like something real soft that you wanna erase.
Yeah, I'm out here doing it too. Like,
right. You lightly stroke with your pencil.
Yeah,
same thing with the tattoo machine. If you trying to find a baseline, you just lightly stroke it until you know, okay, this is where I want my line at. You know what I mean? And that's how I approached it. You know what I mean? But at the same time, very delicately and very slowly. And then I just realized, okay, it's like working with paper, but it's just permanent. So it's no room for mistakes.
Ain't no eraser.
So therefore, I stayed in my lane in doing what I was comfortable with. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't jump out here and try to do no grand portrait, no back piece. No,
No
we are
whole
doing stars
sleeves.
and hearts. Yeah, we're gonna keep it simple. You know what I mean? We're gonna keep it simple because number one, like I say, this is a canvas and it's a permanent canvas. So I
Right.
stuck to what I knew I could do
Yeah.
without second guessing. You know what I mean? And then I just gradually built from there. You know what I mean?
So with that, how long do you think it took you to go from, you know, the hearts to half a sleeve or just, you know, a
man.
upper shoulder piece or, you know?
Shit. I mean, to be honest, every tattoo is you know is an elevating piece. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's kind of hard to say, you know, how long. But personally, I would say consistently tattooing like the first 2-3 years. First 2-3 years. You know, I kept it minimal.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because that's going from like 2 months of peg leg P.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? To let me really take my time because I
Yeah.
can't erase. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
So now we got Peg Leg Pete, now we got Goofy, and we got Donald Duck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now I know how to put all three of them together. So, you know, I stayed in a lane that I was comfortable in. Then once I knew, okay, I could do this with my eyes closed, then I transitioned to something else.
Cool. And it sounds like you already had a grand support system straight out of the gate. You know, with the constructive criticism from your brother, and then going from you the man, you know, with the airbrushing,
Right.
you know, and then Pete basically saying, "Hey, come over here and, you know, do this work," you know.
Right.
So has there been any other kind of support that you had or people that were just like,
Nah, I mean, I'm gonna say this, man. I remember when I first started tattooing, right?
yeah,
I probably had been tattooing for like about 3 months, which I don't understand some people. You got to start somewhere, you know what I mean?
yeah,
And I had a cousin of mine, I'm not going to say her name, but Shonda, she was,
I saw that coming.
you know what I mean? My cousin Shonda she was talking shit. She was talking major shit, but she wasn't talking shit to me. She was saying it to my cousin Connect. And my cousin Connect, he came and told me, you know what I mean? But I never said anything about it. You know what I mean? Like like the same way with my brother. When I was drawing Peg Leg Pete, he told me it looked like shit. I didn't say anything about it. Cool, no problem. And this is like, about my first 3-4 months when I was tattooing, she was talking major shit. You talking major shit. Oh, I ain't never seen him do a tattoo. How you doing a tattoo to jump out and then start doing, you know what I mean? Like, you know, just being negative about it. About me stepping into my artistic business venture.
Yeah.
You know. And so probably like about 4 or 5 years later.
Hey, cuz,
Yeah.
can I
Nope.
can you?
No.
No?
Can't even get in my chair.
I can't.
Cannot get in my chair. I hold grudges.
Hey.
I remember what you said.
Oh,
I
we
remember
gonna
what you
remember.
said.
We ain't gonna forget nothing.
Right, you know.
We ain't gonna forget nothing like that.
And I never told her why. I never told her no, but I always used to tell her I'm booked. You know, because I don't want to
Yeah,
be.
you told
I
her
don't want to
no.
be an asshole. Be like, nah, you know what I mean. I was like, nah, I'm already
Yeah, you
booked.
told her no.
Yeah, in a shady kind of way.
Very.
and you know, and it's just like, you know, and I always took those negative overtones and turned them to a positive.
Yeah,
Yeah, I always did.
I don't think a lot of people know how to do that.
It's a must.
You
It's
have to.
Yeah, a lot of people don't, but it's a must. I mean, especially when you especially in the artistic field, because it's going to be somebody that doesn't like what you do.
Yeah,
It's going to be somebody that doesn't like what you do. You could be a
Yeah.
world-renowned artist, and it's still going to be somebody who doesn't like
Always.
what you do. So I just use it. I use it just to fuel my passion, man.
yeah. In this creative space, doesn't matter what you do. If you create, that's coming from. Well, okay, so that's coming from your mindset, from the way you think, the way
Right.
you process things, and tattooing, photography, videography, singing,
Music production.
music production. You're always gonna see and hear differently than quote unquote the other person.
Right.
There's usually that large group that's right there with you that's like, yo, that's it. I like that. I'm
Right.
riding with it. You know, you even have examples of what that person wants? Like, you know, being a tattoo artist, do they come to you and show you like, hey, I want this, or do you have to draw it out for them?
What I suggest, I suggest to all of my clients, give me a reference image. Because, you know, like you say, it's hard for a lot of people to explain, excuse me. It's hard for a lot of people to explain what they want.
Yeah.
And then when you're asking, okay, about placement, you know what I mean? You know, somebody might say, well, I want it on my arm. Your arm long as hell. Your arm goes from your shoulder to your wrist. Where? I mean, forearm, outer forearm, you know what I mean? Inner bicep, outer bicep, tricep. So, you know, and a lot of people don't know how to explain it like that. So that's why I just asked for a reference image in regards to size, design, and placement. So that way I can see exactly, I can kind of visualize somewhat what they want to get done, where they want to put it, how big it's going to be. Now from there, I go ahead and just put my own spin on. I put my own spin to it, but keeping the integrity of what they want to get done, but at the same time implementing my style into it.
And everybody's style ain't the same.
Exactly, and I let them know that hey, you came to me for a reason.
Right.
Because
you know my just don't go to Tay because Tay is not giving you no tattoo.
Yeah, you know
I'm still on hearts.
So you still on hearts?
I'm still
on hearts and stars.
That's it. And your star might be a little crooked. So, but no, man, I like that. Because you know, being in this space, like I said, you have to give people your vision,
right?
Intertwine it with what they're asking for,
right?
And just make sure that y'all on the same page. And I don't think that when people can't explain, like doing video work, some people can't give you an example of what they want,
right? And
like you said, they can't speak to it. So you have to figure it out because you could be on site and somebody be like, I kind of want it like this, I kind of want it like that, but at least for y'all or you can get a reference.
Right.
Most of the references I get, that is not how they described it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Then now you feel like it's wasted time. You know what I mean?
Wasted my time, wasted their time, and
I ran into that in tattooing as well. You know, when I first started, you know, just somebody explained something to me. Okay, all right, cool. Then I go ahead and put my spin on it. Then they like, oh, nah. So that's why I kind of like started asking for reference images. Okay, cool. I bet. So do you want realistic? Do you want fine line? Do you want black and gray? Do you want color? You know, and I just started implementing those questions. And then I was like, you know what? This is my style right here. Okay, when you go on IG, you see this is what I do right here. So if you're coming to me, you already know what I do. This is my style. So you can't expect me to do this. You can't expect me to do Tay style. You know what I mean?
You don't want Tay style.
but you know, so now I know you're coming for what I implemented to my artwork.
Yeah.
You give me with your reference image, turn it into mine, and we all good.
Good. Man, I think that's a lot right there.
Yeah, it is. I mean, but the biggest thing, you know, is getting past the appointment setting. You know, because I open my DMs half the time. I get, yo, hey, I heard you do tats. How much for a tat?
Yo, let me tell you something.
Trying to get my arm done.
We got a DM yesterday, and it was like, yo.
Yo, and that just irked shit out of me, man.
He says, I'm looking for a podcast or something to do my content out of, to shoot my content in. So I'm like, okay, cool. Well, what are you trying to do?
Right.
Like, oh, I was just trying to see if this was a good space to do it at. And I'm like, well, what do you classify as a good space?
Yeah,
like I'm gonna be like, bro, we trash over here, don't come here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
this space
you
is terrible.
You gotta give context. You gotta say something. Like it. Listen, because Shamar tell you, I go off on a rant right quick, right? Listen, if you gonna DM somebody asking them for something, ask the right question. We don't have time to be trying to figure out what you want because you didn't call us. You sent us a DM. It's a direct message. Be direct in your message. I digress. I'm done. Is that okay with y'all? Okay. So I think I'm done with that. I'm gonna digress. Let me see. I think we about done, Natty.
You sure?
How you feel, man?
Oh man, you know, I'm good with it. But I'm gonna tell you, what I mean, what helped me, I'll tell you, is like, I basically just streamlined everything that I needed
Yeah.
from potential clients.
Yeah.
How to set an appointment. Because one thing I realized, when you put it in black and white for people and they can go 1, 2, 3, 4, it kind of takes the anxiety off of you, and then having to go through this with a potential client. Just write it down. Tell them what you need. Hey, what size space? What day of the week? You know what I mean? Whatever it might entail. So that's what I did. I'm like, hey, how to make an appointment. Number one, when are you available? Hey, first, number one, name. Hi, I am such and such. I'm looking to get such and such on such and such because I'm available this day, this date, after 1, 2, 3, or 4, black and gray color, and placing it wherever they're placing it. So once I get all that information, we can go ahead and get to it.
Then we can have a real conversation.
Yeah, we can have a real conversation.
Not
because other than that, not hey, bro. Which I don't mind because, I'm an antagonist in conversation as well. I'd be like, yo, what's up, sis? You know what I mean? What we doing, man? Come on, man.
Right.
Yeah, we talking business here,
Right.
And and putting it in black and white for people, it kind of helped me get past the initial anxiety and, and initial bullshit. So but we can just get straight to it. I know what you need. I know what you want. I know when you're available. Let's go ahead and get to it.
Yeah, so like when people click on that message button, there needs to be something that pops up and says, this is the information I need before we can proceed to make sure that we are a good space for you.
And another thing, deposits.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, deposit. You know how many conversations have got left in them DMs once that deposit information got sent? Oh.
They forgot who you was that quick?
Oh, conversation over.
they thought you was out here doing tasks for $20?
But no, deposit, it cut the BS.
Yeah.
It cut the BS. Okay, look, I get 1,000,001 questions. Mm-hmm. So we've had a 5-minute conversation. We haven't went nowhere. Okay, cool. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to send this deposit information. That lets me know if you're serious or if you just want to have somebody to talk to in your DMs. So that go ahead and kill a lot of the conversations right there. And you can get to paying clients, clients that are serious, clients that are going to book and appreciate your time. So that's how I weed them out. I got A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and my deposit. And I ain't gonna lie, it's already on. Look, only thing I do is hit one button.
Boom.
Sent.
That's it.
Yeah, it's sent. Zelle, Apple Pay.
That's it.
All your information is right there. Yeah.
Right there. So check this out. So I think we can, because I can talk all day. Well, I don't know if you know, but I can talk all day.
Welcome to the club. I'm a Gemini.
Shamar, stop. So the last question I have, what seeds, because you already dropped some seeds, but what seeds do you want to plant for other people that are thinking about being a tattoo artist or being a creative in general?
Just do it. Just do it. I mean, outside of the criticism, you know what I mean? Take it as fuel. You know what I mean? Take it as fuel and just do it. I mean, immerse yourself in your passion. Immerse yourself in your passion. Let your passion grow. You know what I mean? Other than that, because you'll be forever trying to appease somebody else with something that might be your gift from God. Yeah. To be your endeavor. So just do it. Just do it.
Yeah, because the hater's gonna be there anyway.
You feel me?
Especially if you know what you're doing.
Yeah, that's the only thing a critic is. A critic is somebody who can't do what you do but want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're gonna have critics everywhere. But just do it, man. Immerse yourself in that passion and give yourself 100%. Give yourself 100%.
Gonna get it for you.
And that's it.
That's it.
Yes, sir.
Well, y'all heard what this man said. Y'all need to take heed, man. Just do it. So make sure y'all call us up here. Shout out to Charlotte Podcast Studio. You can catch them at charlottepodcast.studio. But this is Natty on Creative Roots. And where can people find you if they really serious about this tattoo work?
And what's so crazy, I'm easy to find. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. Only thing you got to do is type in Tanaro Reed. That's my government name. Tanaro Reed. No underscores, just a little space. And that's it.
That's it.
That's all.
Well, like I said, man, I've been telling you I appreciate you for about...
Man, I appreciate you having me.
2-3 weeks, man.
Appreciate you having me.
It's been longer than that? Longer than 2-3 weeks?
Yeah, it's been longer than 3 weeks. Yeah, it's been it's been about a month and a few days.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a
Yeah.
month.
But I definitely appreciate you, man, because
Appreciate you having me, Tay.
appreciate y'all understanding. So listen, this is Creative Roots Podcast, where seeds sown become visions grown, and we are